Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam Wolf, and this is a reaction to Overwatch 2 Spotlight. If you have been a viewer of the channel for quite some time, you know that I used to be quite fond of Blizzard, and especially Overwatch 2016 when that game came out. I've had some of the best years, of some of the best time in my life was playing Overwatch and meeting people on that game. And the release of Overwatch 2 was just the huge disappointment, just the biggest letdown, and I've not played it since. However, I heard that this Spotlight had come along, and they're making some big changes, and I already know some of them, but I want to see everything in detail, so you're going to come along with me for the ride, and hopefully, just hopefully, there'll be good things. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll return to Overwatch now that things might be better. But we'll see. Let's get into it. Okay, yeah, let's do the premium.
Initiating boosters in 3, 2, 1.
Grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Game on. Welcome to orbit. I'm on to you.
Let's go on then.
That's the new hero. New maps. That's I already know about that one.
I have goosebumps.
And this seems to be a response, they're saying, to Marvel Rivals' success, which is, you know, Marvel Rivals is doing it right.
You should try my meatballs.
Though, to be fair, you know, I've played Marvel Rivals for a little bit of time, and, I mean, I haven't earned a single thing for free in that game, so...
Welcome
I don't know.
to the Overwatch 2 Spotlight. We've always strived
Man, nice
to be the
pronouns.
best competitive,
I didn't know you were a guy.
team-based hero shooter. This past year alone, we made huge updates to our competitive systems, including matchmaking, balance updates, roll queue times, and new features, all in service of constantly improving and evolving this game. To continue in that goal, we aim to innovate by creating new experiences for the more than 100 million players that have joined us since we launched in 2016.
Okay, and here, again, it's yet another situation where it's corpo speak. They're talking about 100 million players that have joined us since 2016. That's not how many people are actually playing the game. How many people are playing the game is probably, my guess, it's probably somewhere around, I think I saw it the other day. Asmongold actually, I think, showed it off. It was like 50? No, that was Destiny 2. Sorry, that was Aztecross. I would say maybe 20 or 30,000, give or take. Like, it's not as big as it was.
New experiences, new metas, new modes, new events, new heroes, just new ways to have fun. And 2025
Well, it's weird how
is
that's
going
supposed
to
to be the focus.
another big year for us. Not only are we expanding this brilliant global...
Okay, so there's the new guy right there. I obviously know this character. Vantage? Maybe not Vantage. That's Apex, right? I don't know. I know this character. I don't remember her name. I think this guy's name is Maui. I don't know.
Community with a return to China in Season 15. But the overall key focus for us this year is how we can evolve what it means to play an Overwatch game. There's so many things coming to Overwatch 2 this year that we can't even fit it all into this spotlight. So, over the next 30 to 40 minutes, we're really excited.
Okay, so as you can see, they're going to be covering perks. There are new perks in the game where during a match you level up and you choose variants of abilities Like, you could change some of your abilities. You could even change your ultimate, I think, on the third. Like, you level up 3 times. And you could change the way that, you know, which ult that you want to use. Some old alts are coming back, I think, or some old abilities are coming back in the form of perks. Which begs the question, you know, if this is what they're doing here, why couldn't they just spend the time that they've been spending on doing this, creating a PvE mode, right? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. They've spent all this time on all this, okay? 6v6 and Overwatch Classic. That never should have been gone in the first place. They got Stadium, which I know is a new mode. That's actually allows third person, which is, you know, spoiler. Obviously in response to Marvel Rivals, but that should have, like, third person should have been an option anyway. Just because if you're going to sell cosmetics of a character, we should be able to see said character. So, you know, it's just, yeah. And then esports, they're getting back into esports, but, like, I loved watching Overwatch esports back in 2016, 2017, you know, when the game was brand new and fresh and exciting, when they had an arena that they rented out for Overwatch only. And it was awesome. They were great days, and they just said, nah.
To show you many of the things.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Definitely
we'll see what happens.
not all that we are planning for the first half of this year. First up, the biggest change since Overwatch launched, your favorite heroes are about to get a whole lot more heroic with perks. Perks are here to completely redefine your strategy.
The hell was
and
that?
How you play your favorite heroes. Think of them as hero-specific bonuses that level up your gameplay and not just your hero. This means you can customize how you play in a match like never before.
Right.
It's like giving your favorite heroes a little extra oomph. Overwatch 2 is about to evolve in a way you've never seen before.
And, you know, here's the thing. When I saw that this was, like, I've only seen some of the announcements from Young Yeah and I think it was Asmongold. I miss Overwatch. I do. I miss the days when I was, oh man, it was so much fun. And part of what kept me going in Overwatch was the unlock system. You know, people really poo-pooed loot boxes, but Overwatch was one of the few games that actually did it right. You know, they weren't doing battle passes, they were still doing loot boxes, but you got a loot box every time you leveled up. And it was exciting. You know, I would save up 100 loot boxes and then I would open all of them at once, you know, one after another. That was exciting for me. I think the loot box system is actually good in the sense that it does keep that engagement with the game. But to force people to buy them is a bit, that's the scummy part. I think the loot box system is a good way to actually dole out unlocks. Because it does get that dopamine hit in your brain where it's like, what am I going to get next? I don't know. Let's see. And then, of course, if you get duplicates, you get coins for it that you can use to purchase things in the store. I believe that if you do get duplicates, and they'll probably, you know, we'll cover this in the section for the loot boxes, but I personally believe that if you get duplicates and you get enough coins, you should be able to purchase literally anything in the store, whether it's a paid or not, just because you put in that time. And, you know, they always regulate how many coins you get depending on what it is that you get a duplicate of. But we're going to see a little bit later that the loot boxes have percentages now. And I personally don't think that's necessary. You know, it's just they're covering it for law purposes or legal purposes in Europe. But I don't think it's really necessary to show the chances of what you might get in 5 loot boxes and 10 and 20 loot boxes or whatever the heck it is. You know, they have a whole system. We're going to see it in a minute.
After that, we'll go into how we're starting the 2025 competitive year with the full reset and new competitive rewards, including the new competitive weapon when Season 15 launches. We will also showcase some new mythic skins, game modes, and of course, upcoming heroes. Plus, some improvements to how you are rewarded for your playtime.
My biggest issue, see him, that's actually a pretty good spot to stop where I want to get this thought in here. My biggest issue with Overwatch 2 is simply, and you know what, I'm going to stop calling it Overwatch 2. It's Overwatch. There is no Overwatch 1, so it's just Overwatch. My biggest problem with Overwatch is simply the fact that when they brought on 2.0, they changed to a battle pass, which I do think battle passes are inherently better because you can see what you're going to be getting. The problem is that they made it so difficult and so tedious in Overwatch that it was just like, why bother playing? And it seemed like they went completely backwards. The loot box system was at least consistent. You got a loot box every level up, and you could save those loot boxes. They didn't expire, and then you could open them up whenever you felt like it. But the game was also really fun, and you know, the more heroes you add to the game and stuff like that, the more balancing you have to do, and then the more unbalanced the game becomes, and especially in competitive play, it just becomes a little bit less fun. But my biggest gripe with the monetization was the fact that the Battle Pass was just impossible to level up unless, of course, you spent day in, day out playing this game, which I didn't. So it was egregious. Plus, they locked the heroes behind the Battle Pass, which was wrong. Heroes should be inherently just a part of the game so that you can swap on the fly. And if there's a new hero that comes out that is overpowered compared to the other characters and you don't have that character, you're screwed one way or another. And it's not very fair in terms of gameplay. So I think they fixed that. I can't remember. But if they did, good. Glad to see it. If not, then we still have a problem.
Including the return of a system from Overwatch 1 that we've received a ton of requests for, so keep that feedback coming. We'll also share what's going on with esports, including how it's expanding with the reintroduction of Overwatch into China. Of course, some info on Overwatch Classic, as well as 6v6, and hopefully a few surprises mixed in as well. We know what this universe means to all of you, and our team is driven by the idea of working together with all of you in this wonderful community. Developing the best version of this universe for years and years to come is what truly matters. We're so thankful that you are all on this journey with us. And there's so much to tell you about that you're gonna wanna stick around.
You know, it's always coming back, and this is the one phrase that is just repeated over and over in my mind is actions speak louder than words. And that has never been more true than in the last, I don't know, 7 years in the industry. I'll believe it when I see it. And this guy can spew, I don't even remember his name. That's how unimportant this guy is to me. I know he's the game director, but he is no Jeff Kaplan. Jeff Kaplan was a leader. He was an innovator. He was a visionary to really drive Overwatch in the right direction, and he did. But that's one of the problems with Blizzard is that they've gone so far away from what they used to be that it's just you can't trust them to do well with their own IPs anymore. That being said, you know, I've been pretty solid on not supporting Blizzard for the last few years because they have it's one misstep after another, after another, after another. And I think it's 2 days out of date, but there was a sale on Diablo 4, just the base game, not including the Vessel of Hatred expansion. And my buddy Jeremy, you guys know him, he says the game is fantastic now. Like, it's really kind of evolved drastically from what it was when it launched. And I just want to be able to play a game with my friend. And he loves Diablo 4 now. I've been a huge supporter of Path of Exile, especially number 2. I bought into it because I believe in that project. But I also believe my friend. I also trust his judgment. You know, he knows good games and bad games when he plays them. And it really sucks because it's like I could have gotten it for almost half off. I should have probably, you know, bit the bullet and just got it so I could play a game with him. But it's just like, that's where this is right now. I want to play Overwatch. I've always wanted to play Overwatch. I never wanted to stop playing Overwatch. But Blizzard themselves as a company has just forced my hand to just choose between, you know, just, I don't know, simping for a game that's not good and actually having morals and not supporting what I, you know, speaking with my wallet. Granted, I didn't buy anything from Overwatch 2. I think it was just simply, I think I got the first battle pass for free because I owned Overwatch original, and that was it. I don't think I purchased another battle pass. I can't remember honestly, but that's because it was so egregious. Anyway, so it's tough because I really, if this turns out to be very good, I might go back and play Overwatch, because the gameplay was always good. It's just their business practices were just god awful. So we'll see.
Time to celebrate the glory of battle, the competition, determination, and the boom! What a shot! Again!
And to be fair, I always preferred playing on PC compared to console because I was just more used to it. The ranking system's always been garbage though. Rank reset, which is not, it's not abnormal for any live service that has competitive. Galactic weapons. That's pretty cool. Purple's my favorite color, so it's appealing to me, but. Alright, so here are the perks. I don't think you can change in the middle, obviously, but, you know, they're going to show here's what you can do with her. Her ability that usually knocks people away, it sucks them in, and then you can really capitalize on that with your ult. There's that one right there. Take a look here. Protective Banner, basically bringing back Orissa's barrier, which is huge because that was such a big, like, that was a big part of who she was as a tank. And she, you know, in Overwatch 2.0, she became this aggressive tank like most other tanks did, except for maybe Reinhardt. But even Reinhardt's, you know, you want to play aggressive. Now they're bringing back her barrier, which was like, that's what made her a tank in the original game. So it's nice to see that they're bringing back some old abilities. I just wish they just didn't do this in the first place. They wouldn't have to do this if they just kept the characters the way they were.
Shows them you are superior and bang!
I mean, fat chance that they line up like that all the time. Here's the loot boxes. Now, from my understanding, it is possible to actually get, I don't know about mythic skins, but I heard it was possible to get legendary skins. And like I said, it's within a certain, and the goats meta's back, which, who the hell wants that anyway? That's not very fun. That's why it got boring. That's why they came up with, the
energy flows through me.
roll lock. I was trying to remember. That's why they came up with the roll lock, so you couldn't do GOAT anymore, because GOAT was starting to make the esports scene become very stale. It really did. It was boring to watch. But the loot box thing, apparently, we're talking like, you know, I think it's every 20. Yeah, every 20 loot boxes, you're guaranteed a legendary skin. So if I play the way that I play, and if this actually works the way it used to in OG Overwatch, where they you get one every time you level up, which would be great. I know that you get them doing challenges and stuff like that, but it'd be nice if you got one every time you leveled. If I got like 100 loot boxes saved up, that means I get 5 legendary skins every time I, you know, do a whole stack. All right, so they're gonna go over perks this time.
Time to talk about something big. Introducing perks. This is the most significant innovation to core gameplay since Overwatch launched in 2016. This is more than just an update. It's a radical shift in how you experience gameplay. Perks are upgrades to your hero's kit that unlock during the game.
They provide an additional
personally choose the
strategic
barrier.
layer, allowing you to
The whole
alter your
javelin
play
thing just
style
never
and
sat
adapt
right with
to
me.
situations. Throughout the match, you'll level up your hero 2 times, unlocking 1 minor
so
perk
2 times, not 3
and
times.
1 major perk. The first time you level up, you'll get a choice between 2 minor perks. We positioned minor perks as lighter upgrades. They're like a little boost to warm you up, from cooldown reductions to small passives that keep things balanced but exciting. Once you hit your major perk level, you'll get to choose between 2 powerful upgrades, letting you fine-tune your playstyle for the rest of the match. Major perks are gameplay-shifting additions to your hero's kit, changing your core loop and redefining what your hero is capable of.
So it sticks to them now.
Let's look at an
with the perk
example
update.
now with Orisa. When you level up Orisa to level 2, your minor perk choice will be between heat reduction on your primary fire or the ability to briefly tank burst damage with Fortify. Are you facing down a Junkrat
I'd probably
and want
take
to
the
be able
cooldown.
to survive his tire? The upgrade to Fortify might be a great choice.
True.
The fun
It's
really
dependent on
gets
the
going
situation.
when you get to your major perk at level 3, though. Here, Orisa
So it really does, it does kind of add a little bit more strategy to the gameplay. You know, like he just said, if you want to survive Junkrat's tire, probably best to go with the overhealth instead of the cooldown.
gets the choice between a higher impact energy javelin or swapping out her javelin spin for a protective barrier. Here's another example of
Her
what you can
original perk
expect with major perks
ability.
with Torbjorn. For Torb's major perk options, you get to choose between 2 wild upgrades for your turret. The first perk option is allowing you to upgrade your turret to level 3 when activating Overload, drastically shifting your turret's threat level as it rips through enemies. The second perk option is if you're
That's
feeling a little
gonna be
cheeky,
broken.
upgrading your turret to now stick on walls.
All
With
right.
this added flexibility, Torbjorn can take different angles and even surprise opponents with sneaky turret placement. Finally, let's round it out with Ana. Ana's first major perk choice upgrades her sharpshooting capabilities, allowing her to headshot enemies. Be careful, Widowmaker. You might lose this sniper duel. Then, if you're playing Ana and
I never
having a hard
played.
time,
I never played Anna a lot. I actually didn't realize she never actually could headshot you. I guess that makes sense given the fact that she basically poisoned you. But
getting dove on, you might want Ana's second major perk option. Give yourself Nano Boost when it's activated on an ally. Now that's a way to turn a fight.
okay.
When designing perks, we wanted to expand and elevate what your heroes are capable of.
So 2 people get
We were
boosted.
looking for a
That's
system
insane.
that we could layer on top of your normal Overwatch gameplay and offer choice from match to match. We plan on adjusting perks on a regular cadence with bigger system refreshes happening in the middle of
I
the
won't
year.
lie. Overwatch is probably the
Every
only game I
choice
still
you
actually
make
am
with
comfortable
perks
with keyboard and
will
mouse on.
impact the battlefield, offering new opportunities to outplay enemies and support your team.
Battlefield is
You'll get to experience
still
the next era of
the new
Overwatch
Battlefield
2
2042 is
when
still not a
Season
game that
15
I can
launches.
actually really play effectively on keyboard and mouse. I used to be able to, but not really anymore these days. But Overwatch is the
awesome
only
to
game I
see the
really
passion
actually am
and dedication
halfway
this community
decent.
brings to the game every day. Honestly, it's what keeps us hyped to bring you more. Today, we're so happy to share some exciting new features when the 2025 competitive year begins during Season 15.
Do something different with
A
your
season
hands,
that
dude.
Will shake things up by making the game more strategic and further improving our competitive systems. Last year during Season 9, we introduced a major rework to our competitive system, as well as the addition of new hero passives that refresh the core gameplay of Overwatch.
Keep that in mind. They're on Season 15 right now. Season 9 was last year. That's how quickly they're ripping through seasons, and it's just like, I'm so sick of this model, man. Season 1, 2, 3, like that's just why.
As we enter the first season,
I get
of
it. It's live
2025,
service. They
this
got to
is the
do something
perfect
new
chance for the team
every
to
few
shake
months
things
or
up
whatever.
once
but-
again.
and keep people
For
engaged.
such a big season, it just feels logical to start with
it's
a big
boring,
bang.
you know.
Our galactic weapons.
Overwatch 1
In
didn't have
response to your
seasons, and it
feedback
still
about
did
competitive
fine.
Rewards, we worked hard to make this year's weapon variant out of this world. We developed new tech to support applying this type of complex material to weapons. We want you to feel like you have the power of the stars in the palm of your hand. And
It's just a cosmetic.
We're also making climbing the ladder even more charming.
Oh
At
god.
Platinum and above, you'll now get exclusive weapon charms alongside the existing titles. We'll start tracking your rank for this during Season 15.
Sadly, I've never been in
and
the
hand out these
Platinum.
rewards for the first time in
Gold,
Season
you
16.
basically just get...
Now you'll be flexing your rank
you're
in
stuck.
any mode by rocking these battle-ready cosmetics with pride. We're also excited to report that we're bringing rank icons back to the hero portraits while you're in competitive play. We'd like to do more of this sort of thing in the future, but for now, this will give players that want to show off their skill by sharing their gameplay an easier way to do that. Now, Season 15's rank reset. We've tuned our ranks again, and we're confident you can reach new heights that show off your true skill, whether you've been away for a while or you've been grinding up until the last minute in some questionable end-of-season matches. Most importantly, we think these soft resets
there
work
supposed to be a
best
difference
when we're
between any of those?
introducing big new features that change what it means to be skilled at the game. I'm happy to announce that hero bans are officially coming to the game. We know you've been...
It took that long for them to put a ban system in the game? What? I've been away from the game for a while. I still can't believe that there's no hero banning in competitive play yet. And it's not coming until the next season, which is like 3 months away. Oh my God.
Been asking for this feature, and we're looking forward to building our
Yeah,
take on
they've been
it.
probably asking for it since Overwatch original, bro. Are you kidding?
Don't worry. No
Lunatics.
pools or cats in pools are involved. We want a system that punches up at the strong or frustrating heroes without punching down
Pools or cats
at
or
weaker
cats in
niche
pools?
picks.
What?
We also want a system that's very fast, that gives you nuanced control over outcomes, and that we can tweak based on your feedback. As you've seen, we're building a lot of new features. And speaking of buildings, what if you had more control over which of our buildings you spend your time in? We're happy to announce that map voting will be coming to the game after hero bans. Both hero bans and map voting are exclusive to competitive play. One of the other changes I'm particularly excited about is a quality of life update I've wanted to build since my first day on the job. When I joined the team, I was challenged to list the top 10
Map
things I wanted to work on.
Voting.
Back then, we chose the ping system from that
Is
list.
not in the
but today,
game.
we're building my #1, and
And
that's
it's-
improved hero.
And it said it's coming in future seasons. They don't even know when it's coming. All right.
We chose the ping system from that list, but today we're building my #1, and that's improved hero information. In a game about mastery like ours, equipping players with the knowledge they need to improve is one of the most useful services we can provide as developers. That's why we're adding detailed stats to the hero information screen that show damage, cooldowns, ranges, and perks. Of course, Season 15 isn't just about competitive cosmetic updates. We're also tweaking stuff behind the
forbid.
scenes, think shop bundles and better ways to snag those jaw-dropping cosmetics. Season 15 is the return of loot boxes.
Here we go.
You heard that right. Loot boxes are making a comeback. We're keeping it fun while being transparent about what's inside and the rate of various drops from...
So you see, they're telling you right there, legendary guaranteed after 20 boxes opened. Which, again, if I had 100 boxes, that would be, I'd get at least 5 legendaries in one stack of 100. But you can see the possibility of what might come in the loot box is shown on the left side. And again, I just, it's really not that big a deal to me personally. I don't need to see what I might get. Just open the box and we'll see what happens. That's what keeps you involved. That's what keeps the dopamine hit going. And that's what keeps you interested in actually playing the game, getting the loot boxes, and then being excited about what might come in those loot boxes. I don't need to see a percentage or whatever. I know they're doing this for legal reasons, but it's ridiculous. The whole point of being excited is that you don't know what you're going to get. So that's the exciting part. You see this and it's like, oh, well, this is a crap box, you know, like I'm only going to get this kind of, yeah, that kind of ruins it, but whatever.
from opening each box.
I don't know.
Well,
That's
guess
just
what?
me.
They'll be available in the free track of the Battle Pass.
Right.
And of course, they'll also
And
be
then,
in the weekly
right, the
rewards,
challenges.
where you can get loot boxes for just playing. There are plenty of ways to earn them. We're really excited.
Notice how they made sure they didn't mention that you could get it leveling up. I really think they need to do that. It has to be each level you get a loot box. Because if it's just stuck in the weekly rewards and stuff like that, that's not really worth it, man.
Excited for the changes we've made in bringing these back, and hope you are too.
This wouldn't have to be done if the first game was still available.
I'm really excited to join you today to speak about what you can expect from events this year. One of the biggest ways the team has been exploring new ways to play Overwatch 2 is through 6v6 tests. This is something players have been asking about since we launched Overwatch 2 with 5v5, and Aaron has written a few extensive blogs on why the team made this switch. Things like pick rates, tank queue times, match stalemates, matches going on too long, sometimes made Overwatch feel like more of a slog than the fun it should have been. We want to find the absolute best way to make 6v6 with those concerns in mind. These limited time events are our way to really test how 6v6 in Overwatch 2 could work in the most fun, compelling ways possible when trying to address the various issues it used to face. This was a really great experiment for us, and we thank everyone that took part, jumped into the matches, and shared your feedback. We're still sifting through all of the in-game data, along with the mountain of feedback the team received across social media, forums, emails, and carrier pigeons. So look for an update on...
Ha ha ha. Carrier pigeons. Controversial take, I'm sure. Hot take, whatever you want to call it. I didn't mind 5v5 as a change because I do think that in Overwatch 1.0, I really should say Overwatch 1.0. Yeah, it was a slog. Taking down 2 tanks, especially if they were really heavy tanks like a Reinhardt and Orisa, guys who had great survivability. That was tough, especially as a healer. Trying to heal 2 really fat tanks was very, very difficult. So the change to 1 tank was so much easier as a healer. It definitely made things a little bit more fast-paced, which is fine. So the 5v5 change was not a big deal for me. I thought that was like probably the best change that they made to the game. The fact that they're looking again at 6v6 and trying to balance that, I don't know.
Some key learnings in the coming weeks. Moving forward,
I could go.
we're going
I
to be
could do
doing
without
more
it.
of these, and in Season 15, we're pleased to announce 6v6 is getting its own competitive queue. This will be an open queue, but with a max of 2 tanks per team. Not all of our events are just purely to experiment and to try and test out new features. We're also running events because, let's be honest, they're simply fun. Obviously, we have to bring back the modes and events that everyone loves. In addition to the current return of Lunar New Year, we're bringing back April Fools. You'll hit the beach in summer games, and of course, face the horrors of Dr. Junkenstein this Halloween. Outside of those annual events, one of the most fun limited...
That's the thing that they really kind of screwed the pooch on was the PvE events. I liked them because they were easy ways to just knock out loot boxes and stuff like that. But it was also... I need more. I want more PvE in this game because the lore is so deep. They could do something with it, and they don't do a damn thing with it. That was the whole point of Overwatch 2, was to be a completely different game, but then they just replaced original Overwatch with it. So we can't go back to what was good.
The time modes we've worked on in a while has to be Overwatch Classic. This was a labor of love for those of us who have been immersed in this universe for almost 10 years.
And I still think...
We started in November with the Overwatch 1 launch day patch. 21 heroes, original abilities, no hero limits or role locks. Then in January, we rolled out with the September 2017 Moth meta patch, introducing the original versions of Ana, Sombra, Orisa, and Doomfist. But you can't do Overwatch Classic without the most notorious of Overwatch 1 periods. So coming in Season 15, we are bringing you Overwatch Classic GOATs. This was a ridiculously glorious time to play.
No,
you had
it
3
wasn't.
tanks and 3 supports dominating lineups. These won't be matches you'll go into thinking the key headshot or flanking play will make a difference. GOATs meta is a head-to-head battle, testing which team can be the most thoughtful and strategic in setting up the best combination of plays, the best use of dual heals, and of course, dual ults.
I love how he said that was like the best time in Overwatch. It wasn't. It was one of the worst times in Overwatch because it was boring. It was the same stupid characters over and over and over again. There was no variety to the game. He's a moron.
Communication will be key when jumping back to 2019 to see if you have it in you to be the GOAT.
GOATs was a stupid thing.
Today, we introduce an exciting new hero to our lineup.
You just knew the moment you saw her, she was going to be one of those. She, they, any. Any. Okay.
Meet Freya. Codenamed Windasher, she's the latest addition to Overwatch's roster, poised to help you elevate your game. Freya hails from the land of Denmark, where the winters are cold and apparently the bounty hunters are even colder. Freya was once Overwatch's most renowned search and rescue operative, dedicated to saving lives. But when Overwatch disbanded, she put her skills towards a new purpose, bounty hunting. Now, she'll hunt down any target for the right price.
Obviously a
Freya
DPS.
is a hero with a unique arsenal at her fingertips. Armed with an explosive crossbow and
It
a
just
cape
seems
that
like
gives her
there's more
serious
DPS
airtime,
in the game
Freya doesn't play by the
than
rules.
any other
We
class,
think you'll love the new dynamic she
which
brings
really
to
sucks.
Overwatch. Whether you're the type
You know,
of
and the worst part is that most of these hero shooters, they tend to do that. They do a lot more DPS than tank or healing or anything. It's never an even keel. It's never an even balance. And that really honestly sucks.
strategize, hit the ground running, or hover above it, she's got something for everyone. Test your foes with her explosive flare, or wrap them up like a gift with her bola. And if someone tries to flee, well, as Freya says, run or hide, it won't matter in the end. Freya's kit doesn't just aim to control the battlefield, it aims to own it. Unload a flurry of rapid-fire bolts with her rev-draw crossbow to keep the pressure on your enemies. Slow it down with Take Aim to line up the perfect shot and fire a high-speed, explosive bolt that will turn your targets into fireworks. Quick dash in any direction to reload your explosive bolt and leave your enemies in the dust. Launch yourself sky high.
I just don't play
with an
DPS,
updrafted
so,
wind
I mean, it's
and
a
catch
cool
those
character, I
rooftop
just don't-
campers
it doesn't
or
interest
get a
me.
bird's eye view before you strike. And finally, snag an enemy with a bola shot. Wrap them up and pull in their unlucky teammates for the ultimate combo play. For those of you who love a challenge, Freya is going to test your skills like never before. Recognized internally as being one of the highest skill heroes in the game, Freya's kit demands precision and a steady, long-range aim. Whether you want to dominate the battlefield or just float on the breeze, she's going to be the right bounty hunter to hire. Now that we've shown you Freya, you probably want to know who the Season 18 hero will be. I think it's fitting
They're already
to give you a
talking about
sneak
Season
peek at
18.
Hero 44. Codenamed Aqua, this Chinese water wielder has one of the most unique ability sets we've
he's
ever developed.
Aang,
You'll learn
basically.
more about him later this year. And before then, get ready for the
he's
Freya Hero Trial coming
the last
later in
Airbender.
Season 18. Keep following the Overwatch 2 team on social media and our website. We'll release more hero comics and continue to share regular updates on balance changes for all of your favorite heroes.
She didn't look very happy at the end there.
Season 16 is launching in April and is going to be another massive season. In addition to a new hero, theme, and some
Isn't
fun
it crazy
events,
they're talking about
we have
other
something
seasons besides the
extra
one that's
special
actually
that has
occurring
been
right
in the
now?
works for a long time. Welcome to Stadium, the ultimate battleground for strategy, teamwork, and hero evolution. Stadium is the biggest game mode we've made since Overwatch 1 was first released in 2016.
Overwatch.
TLDR, this mode is awesome. It's Overwatch gameplay like you've never seen before. Fast-paced rounds, nail-biting 5v5 matches, and a best-of-7 system designed to push every player's limits. This is the arena where you don't just outplay the enemy, you outthink and outbuild them too. Here's the twist. Mods. Each round, you'll earn coins based on how you and your team perform.
And this is the mode that they're introducing, third person view, which again, good. We need to be able to see the cosmetics that we've either earned or bought. I think that's important to keep people engaged. That's why Marvel Rivals is doing so well, because you can see the characters and you can see the cool cosmetics that you've purchased or earned. And I think, you know, that's why Fortnite does so well, because it goes a long way to keeping people interested in the game, because they're like, oh, look at my cool skin, you know?
Use these to unlock and customize abilities for your hero. Choose from mods that boost survivability, like extra armor, amplify attacks with shorter cooldowns, or even add game-changing abilities. Stadium is packed with transformative powers.
Notice how
and
he's not even
strategic
mentioning that it's in third
encounters
person.
that enhance the hero fantasy well beyond anything we've released.
As far as I know, it's the only mode
This
that actually supports
also
third person.
includes the option to choose how you play in either a first person
There we go.
or an entirely new third person perspective.
They should have done this a long
from
time
which
ago.
to see more of the battlefield and your modifications in action.
They're kind of doing a Star Wars Battlefront 2 thing, or just Battlefront in general, where you can actually choose between third or first, and it really doesn't make much of a difference. I mean, obviously, you have a much bigger advantage in third person to be able to look around corners. But, you know, even the best, you know, first person shooter people will probably still outgun you if you're not quick enough, even in third person. But I like this change personally. I just wish it was in the game in general, in the base game, just because I prefer third person because you can see the characters and everything, and it's certainly a lot more fun to look at. And you're not inundated with just
really
flashing lights in your
what
face when
Stadium
you're
is
trying
all
to see what the
about,
hell's going on.
I'm thrilled to introduce Dylan Snyder and, of course, the one and only Dion Rogers.
What's up, Aaron?
Thank you so much, Aaron. Wow, this is crazy.
Can you believe we're in Watch Point Gibraltar?
Yes.
Oh, that table's actually real. I thought that table was fake. I thought this was all like project. The background might be like a green screen. I thought that table wasn't real.
Talk strategy. Picture this: Reaper flying, like literally flying, I'm serious, through the air to take down a pesky diva. Or Mercy, enchant.
That Soldier 76 sucked if you didn't see Reaper come flying at him from the left. Like, where's your peripheral vision there, buddy?
A teammate to auto-res on death. The choice is totally yours, so build wisely. What works as an edge.
Now, apparently, though, also
might be the difference maker in the next.
It's like a 7-round thing with the stadium thing. That's why you're able to like upgrade and all this stuff, you know, for longer periods of time, over longer periods of time.
You'll be upgrading your
It's
hero
like a 7-round
until they're
thing.
so powerful that Aaron has no choice but to make you the game director. You become a walking fortress by going all in on armor, or roast your enemy shields faster and more mercilessly than Dion roasts me every day for not knowing anything about obscure 1970s jazz. Because why not?
And visually, we've revamped everything from the ground up, creating a new user experience layout to make navigating your mods simple and fun. The fresh layout and intuitive icons transform strategy into art, giving you the arsenal to power up your hero as you progress through intense matches. Incorporating an intricate mod system, each choice you make is a step towards strategic dominance. Early in the game, you'll invest in affordable mods that lay a solid foundation for your team, giving you an immediate but modest boost. As the match heats up, you'll unlock access to more expensive and oh-so-satisfying mods that pack a serious punch, turning the tide in your favor.
I don't know if I'd
Each
be interested in this game mode.
complemented by
I'd be interested in
incredible
it just to
visual
play in third
effects,
person.
dynamically interacting with your actions to maximize the awesome
I like the
feel
base game
of
mode enough to
impact
just
and
play it that
intensity.
way.
You'll have complete control of your currency, so how and when you spend could be the key to victory. It's all about crafting the best version of your hero at the right moment.
In addition to mods you can buy, you'll also unlock even more powerful traits that won't cost you anything. Traits are meant to be defining aspects of your play expression, so we're making sure that they feel appropriately transformative. You may remember us teasing some of these in events.
Notice how they're really like laying into it won't cost you anything. Like, did you guys at one point think that, oh, let's charge them real money for changing traits? And like, why are they just like, there's so much emphasis on making sure that we know that it's not going to cost us anything extra, whatever that might be.
It's like Trials of Sanctuary or Junkenstein's Laboratory. As Reinhardt, you
They're
can
backtracking
focus on
so
improving your
hard
barrier, taking
on their
away the movement
greed.
penalty while it's raised and allowing him to activate it while charging. As Soldier 76, become a utility healer for your team while improving your biotic field by increasing its range, attaching it to yourself, and buffing the attack speed of allies that stand in its radius. Or as Kiriko, embrace your true nature as a dive DPS by improving your health and damage resistance while gaining the ability to teleport to allies.
I love playing
and
Kiriko.
With 7 rounds,
She's so brutal if you land your
Stadium
shots.
features a variety of maps and game modes. There will be a mix of modified versions of existing maps, such as a quicker Hanaoka Clash round, as well as new push maps with final artwork to be unveiled in the coming months.
Stadium launches in Season 16, and we see it as more than just a new mode. It's a long-term evolution. Each season will bring updates, new heroes, and possibly even alternate modes, like Payload Race or Paintball. And hey, while this mode is already big, it's just the beginning of empowering you to build the best hero you can.
We'll be keeping a close eye on your feedback and continue to find ways to evolve this mode into the biggest and best it could be.
We're planning to kick things off with 14 core heroes, carefully selected to ensure balance and competitive play, with more heroes being regularly added over time, which will allow you to keep working each season on what is the best hero build to help you win.
There will also be additional maps, modes, and features regularly added over time, keeping things fresh and competitive.
Stay tuned as we reveal more details in the coming months. Stadium isn't just a new way to play. It's a new way to dominate. Get ready to strategize, customize, and rise. Season 16 is just around the corner. See you there.
Yeah, 3 months. 3 months from now. Notice how Aaron Keller was the game director's name. The guy who took Jeff Kaplan's place. Notice how he introduced the black guy. And then notice how the other white guy mentioned 1970s jazz. Man, that all just seemed really stereotypical. Almost racist. It's weird how these companies pretend to actually virtue signal, but they themselves are inherently racist. It's insane. So, yeah, just wanted to point that out that, like, yeah, okay. you just associated the black guy with the way that Aaron introduced him. Dion, whatever. I don't know his last name. And then, like, the other guy talked about 1970s jazz. Like, oh, he's black, so he must like jazz. I'm just using their arguments against it. It's fucking ridiculous. So
we have some stunning cosmetics lined up, and I'm thrilled to brag about my team's hard work. Earlier today, you saw a brief glimpse of Season 15, but let's dive a bit deeper. Our Season 15 Mythic skin is for Zenyatta. Zenyatta will have heavenly visual effects and sound effects to complement his godly ascension.
Now, the Mythic skins, of course, they're going to force you to pay for these, as they have in the past. I doubt you'll be able to earn any Mythic skins in loot boxes. I think they strictly only went as high as Legendary. I mean, sometimes there's some Legendaries that are better than the Mythic skins, like, honestly. I know that some Legendary skins in the past have been kind of crap. They've been, like, basically color changes with maybe some adornments, but other than that, they've been kind of garbage. But that's only to sell you on the Mythic skins. But again, if it's not in third person, you can't see it, then who cares?
Our concept artist jumped on this one. She was really inspired by the Golden Dragon Pichu, and the team rallied to make sure that we brought her vision to life in a way that felt specific and authentic. Our 5th Mythic weapon is for Widowmaker, coming out at Season 15 mid-cycle. We wanted something that truly embodied Widowmaker's hero
That's pretty
fantasy,
sick.
and our concept artist took
And
that literally.
this is where it should be at for first-person shooters. It should be on the weapons, not the characters. And I stand by that. I think buying character skins is stupid if you can't see them. Buying weapon skins, now that is a different selling point for me on first-person shooters.
I don't have favorites, but if I did, the theme for our Season 16 Mythics is very near and dear to my heart. The team has been waiting forever to put our spin on the beloved Maho Shoujo genre. I'm so excited to introduce Dokiwatch, which pits the Heroes of Heart against the Hollow Hearts. Dokiwatch retains core elements of the magical girl aesthetic and blends them with the sleek technology of Overwatch. Our heroes' Magitech weapons are empowered by their animal familiars to fight against the Hollow Hearts and their looming threat of woe. Tiny sharks.
Oh, man.
a fox,
I don't know,
a cat,
man.
and even
Those skirts are a little short, don't you think? I mean, isn't that too sexy? Isn't that sexist against females? Like, you know.
mischievous bunnies
I'm
are
sorry,
ready
I'll
to fight
stop.
by your side. They're cute, they're fierce, and they'll make your heart doki doki.
Don't do
When
that.
it was time to pick the leader of the Heroes of Heart, the choice was obvious. Mars's favorite daughter gets a splash of pink in her mythic skin. Juno's radiance spreads hope wherever she goes, making her extremely
I see, it's
powerful in the
progression.
fight against woe. Her skin features her magical shark companions, Deimos and Phobos, named for the moons of Mars. Personally, I'm partial to the pastel yellow Doki princess, but villain enthusiasts will love her corrupted evil look too. But don't worry, Mercy Mains, I've got you covered. She's getting the Season 16 mythic weapon. At mid-season, the ridiculously cute Elios joins the fight. I'm not going to say much
have no
because I
idea
think the
what any of
concept
this
really
is
speaks
on.
for itself. He's just a little guy. Since Overwatch 2 was released, players have been asking for a mythic
It all
for
looks
this
like
hero.
Sailor Moon
She's
to
a little
me.
bit of extra work for my team specifically, but it was time to make it happen. Our Season 17 mythic skin is for Diva. We hope she lives up to your expectations. For her mythic, Diva will take on the spiritual aura of South Korea's national animal, the Siberian tiger. She'll have customizable hairstyles on the pilot, as well as a pink and an Empire Red colorway, so you can
That's
style
pretty
her
cool.
however you want. Season 17 will also feature Reaper's mythic weapon, designed to capture the allure of corruption. We asked our concept artist to make something edgy, and he really did deliver. With distinct weapons for each hand, they reflect Reaper's duality, his descent from beloved Overwatch commander to feared Talon agent. Oh, and one last thing. While we aren't quite ready to reveal them yet, throughout the upcoming year, we have some very exciting collaborations. but there's one coming in Season 15 that me and my girlies can give a slight reveal to.
Hello, we are the Seven. We're so excited to announce our second collaboration with Overwatch 2. Woo! There will be brand new in-game skins and cosmetics coming this March. We can't wait to reveal all the details, so stay tuned for more information. See you all in-game soon.
Why does this sound, when they're speaking, why does it sound like it's robotic? Like they had to really correct something. That was weird. I know English isn't their first language, but I mean, why'd that sound weird? I've turned a half-hour video into an hour or so.
Hi gamers, this is Bailey from the Overwatch esports team.
Yeah.
Something new is always coming to Overwatch, and Overwatch
right
esports is no different. We've tweaked our competitive formats a bit to provide you all the things that you actually care about. More things to play in, more matches to watch, more coverage of your favorite players, drops to earn, and some awesome dynamic gameplay.
I mean, has Overwatch esports even been a thing this whole time? Does anybody actually watch it?
Inaugural 2024 season at DreamHack Stockholm
I guess.
this November, where Team Falcons from OWCS Korea took home the win. We're really excited for the future of OWCS to provide the most accessible competitive environment that we have ever had. Want to know, though, how the OWCS is getting even better in 2025? We're going from 2 to 3 stages and live events, bringing you 3 events across the world to even more players. We're doubling the gameplay that we're providing and the number of broadcasts. We're introducing Face It leagues to our
I mean, the esports, I really don't care about, to be honest, because they had it much better back in the day. It's just it's a non-thing for me, esports at this point. The
Share your
Overwatch
favorite
esports.
players and teams, or learn a thing or two about your favorite hero. We hope to see you there.
Getting to be a part of this amazing team of brilliant developers, artists, engineers, and more, as we've evolved Overwatch together with all of you, has been one of the highlights of my career. We are so excited about all that has been shown today, but we didn't even touch on so many more great updates coming your way. Throughout the rest of this year, we are going to roll out numerous quality of life changes, such as map voting, and as Gavin mentioned, hero bans. We also didn't even touch on what is one of the most impactful changes coming later this year, more map reworks. There will be reworks of both original Flashpoint maps, Suravasa, and New Junk City. We also are working on major reworks to another batch of classic maps, so you have to stay tuned as we share those details. And that's not even all for maps. A new Atlantic Arcology map is also coming to the
coming after season 19. I really genuinely think that they're making this stuff out to be more difficult than it actually is. And there have been numerous people who have come out who are developers over the years and talked about not just this game, but so many other games where it's like, remember the debacle with Ubisoft where they said it's very difficult to add in, was it female characters? At one point, they said it's really difficult to animate for female characters because they move so differently from male characters. And then we had developers coming out and saying it's not that hard. Like they're just making this up now. I genuinely believe that's what's going on with Overwatch and the team there. They're just making it up. 19? You're gonna come out with a new map 4 seasons away? That's not. What is season 19? Not until next year, essentially. So it's like, what? You want it to be a live service. You canceled the PvE mode specifically so you could really focus on this being a live service, and yet all of the stuff you're talking about is not even in this current season. They barely even touched the current season stuff. They talked mostly about future seasons and season 16 and now 19 and also this is not a live service. You guys wanted in on this. Why don't you act like it matters? You want to be up and you know, immediate and relevant. You have to be faster than this. Look at what Epic Games had to do with Fortnite. Their developers were there for a very long time, and they compensated them with like the heck was it, like a 2-week vacation or 2-month vacation? I can't remember. It was like 2 weeks, I think. But they compensated them with a 2-week vacation because these people were there 7 days, 24/7, round the clock, updating the game every single week. Something new was happening. You can't look at this and be like, oh yeah, no, 4 seasons from now, like next year, we're coming out with a new map. Like, bruh, like live service is a very different beast. And I'm sorry, they shouldn't have gone this way. They shouldn't have done this to Overwatch. They completely shot themselves in the foot. And obviously, again, this whole Overwatch 2 thing, just drop the 2. It's Overwatch. You got rid of the first game. It doesn't exist. We can't play it, even though we purchased it. So drop the 2. It's Overwatch. And you want it to be live service, stuff has to come out a lot sooner than this. This is not acceptable.
Game. And a new Tokyo map. We have so much planned to share with you.
Even says coming after season 19, not in season 19. So it's like
more details, more content, more ways to experience.
Each season's like
Overwatch.
2.5, 3 months, then we're talking like next year.
It is our goal to keep exploring and delivering new fun ways to play Overwatch than we've ever done before.
That's why Overwatch fell out of relevance.
I cannot wait to show you what this team has been working on. Thank you for the hours and hours of dedication you all give to this game. We are thrilled to keep working with you through feedback and engagement on growing what we do to improve Overwatch 2. I hope you all have a fantastic time when these changes start rolling out in just a few weeks with Season 15. Now let's go make a great game.
Okay, so this is like, this was a couple days ago, which means season 15 hasn't even started yet. So the loot box change isn't even here yet. Man, boy, I don't know. I saw more things in here that pissed me off more than that actually it excited me. And like I said, I haven't played Overwatch in, I don't know, a year or more. And it sucks because I really enjoy the game. I love the gameplay. The gameplay is what kept me going back. The loot boxes were just a bonus. Now they're coming back with loot boxes, but season 15 doesn't start until a few weeks from now or whatever the heck it is. And they were focused so much on future seasons than the current season that people are watching this for. Why are you doing a spotlight for future seasons? Why not show that stuff off in future spotlights for those seasons? Do a spotlight every season. But instead, they touched on a few things that are coming in season 15, and then talked about season 16 and after season 19 with those new maps. And it's just like, their focus is so skewed to me. It doesn't make any sense at all where they're deciding to go with this and what they're deciding to do. They're just talking about stuff that's not even in the game yet, and it's not going to be in the game for more than a year. It's like announcing a game a year ahead of time with a trailer, or years ahead of time, and the game's not going to come out until like 3 years later. Why are you putting out an announcement trailer? I still think everybody should do what Bethesda did with Fallout 4. In that year, they not only released Fallout Shelter for mobile, but they said Fallout 4 is coming this November. They said that in that year that it came out. That's how you should do it. Build a game, make sure it's ready, then announce it. Enough of this early trailer hype garbage, all right? This is not how you sell people on a game, because you say, oh, it's not coming until after season 19. Well, you just lost tons of people's interest. Like, nobody's going to stick around that long just to see a couple new maps. And it's only 2. Like, it can't be that hard to build these maps, seriously. You guys already have the tools. All you got to do is build it like a Lego set. From my understanding. You know, if you got the tools, you got the assets, you got everything all set, just put it together. How hard is that? A year's worth of work? I don't think so. I don't know. I think loot boxes is not enough to bring me back. They piss me off, man. They really do. Blizzard really has no idea what they're doing anymore. And it does really suck, because Overwatch is just, it's got such a history with me, and you guys know on this channel and back in the day on Twitch, you know, I loved playing Overwatch. I loved streaming it, and they are just not worth our time anymore. Blizzard is not worth anybody's time at this point. They just keep stumbling their way across the finish line. And they're always in last place. They're always in last place. Don't play Diablo. Play Path of Exile. It's a much better game. Don't play Overwatch. Play Marvel Rivals. It's a much better game. And they know what they're doing with it. They know which direction they want to take it in. Overwatch is just playing catch-up at this point. They're just introducing third-person mode, but only in a specific game mode. Why not a permanent setting? Hey, choose between third and first, and we'll set you up in those specific playlists. That way they can see what people really want to play. Do most people play in first person, or do most people play in third person? And then they can use those metrics to really gauge how people play the game. And then they can base their monetization around it, or whatever the case may be. These people don't know what they're doing, which is weird because they made World of Warcraft. They know how to live service. They know how to do it, and they keep screwing it up. Yeah, I thought maybe this was going to be a very exciting thing for me to watch. It really just pissed me off more than it excited me. The perks thing again is like you're just adding in game modes or adding in things to the game modes that would have been in the PvE, but you're repurposing it, and that's fine. But if you spent all this time doing all this, putting these perks in the game, when you were going to do that anyway, why did you just spend the time doing the PvE that you promised? Now, what should have happened was they should have left Overwatch Original untouched because we paid for it. Okay? And I've said this since they came out with Overwatch 2.0. Give me my money back, because I paid for that game twice. I bought it on PC and I bought it on console. I want my money back. But secondly, you should have held to your promise. Overwatch 2 is not Overwatch 2 without the PvE campaign. So take off the 2, call it Overwatch, because that's all it is. You replaced original Overwatch with this garbage, and now it's just Overwatch. There is no Overwatch Original. There is no Overwatch 1. It's just Overwatch. Remove the 2. It's not Overwatch 2. It's just Overwatch. And it's still not good enough. And even these days, I'm not playing Marvel Rivals. I genuinely have been thinking about it ever since I saw that they had done this. And I was like, I'm going to make a video on this. But ever since, I've been thinking about Overwatch. I'm like, man, I would love to get back into it, because I remember the good days that I had on it. And now it's just like, that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough to bring me back, because they didn't even say, oh yeah, when you level up, you get a loot box. It's back to the old days. No. Hey, do these weekly challenges, you'll get some loot boxes. Okay, but do you get loot boxes when you level up? They didn't even say that. They didn't touch it. Because I bet you that's not how that works. You can only get them in the challenges, and the challenges are tedious as hell. They always have been, they always will be. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on this. I thought this was going to be enough to get me back into Overwatch. It's not. It's not. This is not enough. And, again, with Diablo 4, I probably would have paid for, it was 45% off. It was like $28 for the base game. No Vessel of Hatred. But I don't know, man. It's hard to go back to Blizzard. I'll play their older games that I already have, like StarCraft 1 and 2. I've even thought about getting back into Heroes of the Storm. MOBAs have kind of gone out the door for me, but Heroes of the Storm was always fun. I'll play the Blizzard games that I already have, but in terms of playing or getting their newer games, they're dead, man. They're a dead company to me, because they just have no idea what their audience actually wants. What their real audience actually wants. And that goes for like World of Warcraft, any other IPs that they have. I mean, StarCraft is basically dead in the water as far as we know. Which is unfortunate, because that was one of their better franchises. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. If you're excited about this, more power to you. God bless you, because I cannot get behind Blizzard anymore. This is not enough to bring somebody like me back, who was a huge fan of Overwatch Original. And that's sad. That's sad. And please join me again in the next one, where we'll be covering the PlayStation State of Play. Apparently it wasn't very good, but that's all subjective. So hopefully, I find it good. But until then, I'm Adam Wolf. This is the Overwatch 2 Spotlight. I'll see you guys later.